Hello students, Dr. Shell here. This is a short overview of what you can expect in this ethics course in this hybrid format. Because we only meet once a week and you have a lot of independent work that you're responsible for online, I didn't want to get too far down the road before you had a chance to really look over the syllabus, and we're going to talk about the various kinds of assignments so you know what is coming your way. I do miss having the face-to-face interaction. I appreciate the fact that we can at least meet once a week, but a lot has to happen between our class meetings. So I just wanted to give you a chance to look over the nuts and bolts of this course. Okay, so when you first open up our course, you go to Blackboard and you click on Ethics, you're going to come to a screen that looks something like this. You'll see along the left-hand margin of the different elements of our course, and then you'll see to the right where the announcements. I tried to make it so the announcement pop up right when you first open the class shell. If you're not familiar with Blackboard, you need to go and do the training that will help you really navigate Blackboard efficiently. So when you open up Blackboard and there's a list of all your courses, there's a course there that you didn't sign up for. It says something like Blackboard Tutorial or Introduction to Blackboard. And if you're new to Blackboard, it's worth your time to open that up and work through some of those exercises. It'll save you a lot of heartache and headache in the future. So when you open up our course and you're going to see these various elements, I'm going to walk you through what they mean, how to access them, and so you'll be able to sort of move through this class really comfortably. So as I've already mentioned, one of the things that you're going to see is the announcements, and those announcements will be all variety of things. Sometimes I will post a reminder that something is due. I don't always do that, but sometimes I will throw a reminder out there. Sometimes I'll throw a shout out to somebody in the class who's done a great job. Quotes of the day. Occasionally a student will notice that there's a link that's broken, and so they'll tell me, Dr. Shell, I can't open this lecture, and then I'll correct it, and then I'll post up here on announcements. In the event that something crazy happens, you'll find it out first here on the announcement board. So when you click on the syllabus tab there on the left hand side, it's going to open up to reveal there are two pieces of information here. One of them says syllabus and one says course content and assignments. So the syllabus proper is all the sort of legal beagle stuff that you need to know in terms of what books are required, how many points different units contain, what to do if you need accommodations, various things like that are included in every course. There are two details that I need to really make sure that you are aware of. Number one is that I do not accept late work in any form. So you're going to want to make sure you observe the deadlines and make sure that you nail them because zeros really hurt your grade. So make sure that you know when things need to be turned in and you're prepared to do that. The other thing is that the last date to drop this course is March the 7th. So that's right at the midterm. After that, you cannot drop this course unless you have documented material that shows a family emergency or personal medical issues. So just be aware as you get toward the middle of the class, you sort of take an assessment of where you are, and if you'll be able to be successful, then that's fantastic. I know you'll do great, but the fact of the matter is the failure rate of online courses is about 50%. And as you get along and about halfway through, you need to take your pulse and see if you're going to be able to be successful. And I'll do everything I can to make sure that you speak to me after class, email me, because I want you to be successful, and we want to make sure that you can understand everything that's expected of you. Okay, so I'm going to look at Unit 2. So the course is set up with discrete units. They open at a certain time, they close at a certain time. and you can see all the material that is due inside a particular unit. And so just so you can see what it looks like, because this is not an online class, it's not an in-person class, it is a hybrid, so as Shakespeare says, it's neither fish nor fowl. And so I want to show you kind of how it rolls. So we have the in-person class Mondays and Wednesdays. So when you look at the first block, so we're looking at Unit 2, we look at February 1st through the 7th, and there is a list there. In class, what are we going to do in class? And it tells you we're going to discuss ethical lenses and the contract lens. Before class, there is a reading that you're expected to do, and maybe a video to watch, or a lecture, or something to do. So the stuff that says before class, you need to do before class. So read it, take notes, be ready to discuss those items, ask questions about them, because those will be in the quiz that's included on that day, that week. And then you'll see it says hybrid, and that's sort of what are you going to do online outside of class. So there is what to do before class, what we're going to do in class, and then what to do outside of class, the hybrid component. And for this unit, this is very consistent. It follows the same pattern. Other units won't be quite the same. But that's sort of how it works. Make sure you have read and listened and taken notes and are ready when you come to class. Listen, participate, be part of the class discussion. Then you'll be ready to be really successful in the hybrid component if there's a quiz or an assignment that's due. Okay, so we are going to go all the way to the end of the course. The last 3 meetings of the course are heavily backloaded. There's a lot of points, almost 300 points, riding in the last couple of assignments, and they're due right at the end of the semester. Now, I'm telling you now because you can be working on them as we go along, and we'll be talking about them throughout the course, and you'll want to start accumulating information and data that you're going to want to use in those assignments, and not wait until the very end to try to cram all of that into the last couple weeks of the course. I think of it as kind of a snowball going down the hill, and as we're going down this hill, if you're gathering up material, then when it comes time to present that snowman, then you'll be in really good shape because you've been gathering those snowballs all semester. I call it the trifecta. There's 3 pieces to it. We have the trial of Hugo first. We have your summum bonum project that you're going to submit and also tell the class about. And then your final exam is an essay on the short little novel called The Pearl, and it will be accumulation of all the different ethical tools that you've picked up as we've gone along, and have you analyze that novel and reflect on the ethics contained in that story. So as we move our way through the course, you're going to learn about the fat man and the trolley problem, and the man that pushed the fat man in front of the trolley. I call him Hugo first. We're putting him on trial, and you will have to present a case as if you were one of the philosophers, and you're arguing a case before the court and weighing in from the position of your philosopher. Again, we're going to talk a lot more about this, but I just want to put it out there. So you're going to want to be doing some independent reading on a philosopher that you choose. Then the Summum Bonum project is you're going to have to do something good and document it and then reflect on it. And again, we'll talk about this a great deal more as we go along, but you can look at examples of that so you can sort of get an idea of what kind of project you should be looking at. But you need to sort of submit a proposal for it, get that approved, and then here at the end of the semester, you're going to present what you did and your reflection on it. So you can do the project anywhere along the course when you get permission. Take some pictures as you go and then reflect on it. So that's something you can be doing early in the semester, if you like, to get that out of the way so it's not weighing down at the end of the semester. And then the Pearl essay, you're going to be reading the Pearl and reflecting. Now this you probably want to wait a little bit closer to the last month so that you have more sort of ethical tools in your toolkit to work on the essay. So that's sort of the big picture of that last piece, the trifecta, the three bald snowman, I guess that we'll be building. I also want to make you aware that this course involves several films that you need to view. And I have in the syllabus and in the course material a link to where you can rent those films. Usually through YouTube, there's a link there where you can rent them. Now, they might be available on YouTube. I mean, they might be available on Netflix. They might be available on Hulu. Sort of that's up to you. They're available to public library. So if you make arrangements, but you'll want to check ahead of time to make sure that the film you want to watch is available on the platform that you're able to use. And if not, then you need to plan to rent it. That's just part of the expense of course. Think of it as rolling together a textbook. Most of my courses, the most I require is 4 or 5, so you're probably looking at 12 to 15 additional dollars. So that's your responsibility to find the movie, secure the movie, watch the movie, and then use that as the basis for your film study reflection. One of the items you'll notice on that menu along the left-hand side in Blackboard is Dr. Shells Emporium of Philosophical Wonders. This is a link to a site where I just put all kinds of random things. You will be most interested in looking at film studies from previous students that I consider to be exceptional. There are lots of things in here that other students have done if you want to get an idea of sort of what I consider to be really good, exceptional work. There's also resources here when you're looking to find a good website. I have some of those listed here. When you're trying to pick your philosopher, there's actually a thing in there which is like the philosophical dating game where you can answer some questions and find your perfect philosophical match. So there's a lot of random stuff in there you may want to kick around, but especially when you want to look at a Sun and Boner project, you want to see what a good legal brief looks like. There are examples of all those sitting in Dr. Shells Emporium of Philosophical Wonders. So this was really just designed to give you a overview of what the course entails. Of course, we'll do this in person in class, and I'm always available to answer your questions. It wasn't designed to answer everything, but to give you sort of the big picture of where we're going, and so you have an idea of how to move around the class and what material is found where. There is a quiz over the content of this video plus a reading of the syllabus, so you're going to want to make sure you have to pass it. You have to get 100 actually, so you just take it as many times as you have to, but you've got to get 100. This is a way that we can ensure that everybody is well aware of what all the details are. So looking forward to a great class together, and this is Dr. Shell sauntering on.